So as you guys are cultivating over the years, you get better and better, your skills get more refined, and you want to know what you're cultivating, right? So we want to test the potency. None of us want to be wasting our time, money on bunk. We don't want to be growing bunk. We want to be growing the best that's on the market. And really the only way forever to test your potency was HPLC testing. It was really the only way that you could test, but there's some pros and cons to it, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in this video. But until recently, a second option came on the market. This came along right here. This is about the size of my cell phone, and this makes a lot of big claims that you could test your potency super accurate from the comfort of your own home, and everything you need is right here in this little box. We're going to test it out. We're going to see if it works, if they're bullshitting. I have no idea, but we're going to test it all out right here in this video. Let's go.
Dripping on acid in the hotel lobby. Everything moving hella fast, Ricky Bobby. Floating in the ethers. Listen to the ethers, you can probably tell the future. Superhuman man.
What's going on, Chip Team? First of all, I want to welcome you guys back to a brand new video. I hope all of you guys are doing amazing. I want to tell you guys I love you. If this is your first time here on Willy's World, go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell off to the side. That way you guys know when I drop a new video. If this is your first time at all ever seeing one of my videos, welcome to the Trip Team family, TTF. That's what it's about. All my social media is right here. If you don't see it over here, it's not me. If you guys want a private library with step-by-step detailed extractions and grows, private chat room, private Reddit, tons of giveaways, then go check out my Patreon because that's where it's at. Actually, I'm going to be giving away some mystery boxes this upcoming week on my Patreon. So if you guys want to get in on that, jump on it. I'm telling you, it's amazing. These mystery boxes contain amazing genetics inside of them, and I'm going to be giving a whole bunch of them away, but there's also some other things that you could find inside those mystery boxes. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about testing, what's the cheapest testing on the market, but today, the really big thing we're going to be talking about is this right here. This right here is the Miraculix Psilo-Qtest. Now, what comes inside this little box is actually 2 test kits, and this allows you to test potency. Now, I don't know how accurate it is. I never used it before, but I'm going to be using it with you guys. I'm going to show you guys the proper way to use it, and we're going to talk about if it's worth it or not. Now, for the longest time for testing, your only option was HPLC testing. Now, HPLC stands for high performance liquid chromatography or chromatograph, or high pressure liquid chromatography. You know, it's used interchangeably. People call it different things. They just switch out performance for pressure or whatever. It really doesn't matter. It's the same exact thing. HPLC testing. It's a really in-depth process, and it's the only way to really know the exact numbers when it comes to potency. I mean, they break everything down, and you could test for so many different things. I mean, it's literally endless. From psilocybin to psilocin to norpsilocin to baeocystin, norbaeocystin, aruginacin. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So you could really quantify the alkaloids that are in your specific sample. Now, with this test kit right here, it's only testing for psilocybin and psilocin, but that's really the 2 big compounds that we want to test for anyways. All the other compounds are great, but we really just want to know what those 2 compounds are, because that's what really matters when we actually take them, right? So this kit hits the main 2, so that's going to be great for a lot of people. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the end, because I'm going to talk about something in the end. If you want to throw your gloves in the ring and compete with some of the best cultivators from around the world, I'm going to show you guys and tell you guys how you can do that. But you need to stay tuned to the end for all that. Now, this Miraculix testing kit, all in with shipping, cost about $35, give or take. Now, full disclosure, I just want to tell you guys, before I did this video, I reached out to them to try to get you guys a discount code. I did. I hit them up. They were interested. And then they asked me what I wanted in exchange. I said, just throw me some kits so I could do the video, give the Trip Team family a discount, and they ghosted me. They never hit me back. So take that for what it is. You know, that's not going to stop me from doing an honest review on this kit. You guys asked for this, and I want to give you guys what you want. But I do want to tell you guys that nothing was provided to me by Miraculix. They didn't give me the kit. They didn't give me a discount code for you guys. It is what it is. You guys asked for this video. If it wasn't for you guys asking, I probably wouldn't have did this video. Just to be 100% honest with you guys. So with all that said, let's just jump right into this video. We're gonna jump over to one of the stainless steel tables. We're gonna unbox this kit and we're gonna see what's inside. The first thing you guys will notice is the packaging looks really, really good. It's compact, it's really small, and each one of these boxes contains 2 separate kits. So you guys could test 2 different samples or test the same sample 2 times to make sure it's as accurate as could be. So let's open this up. When we open it up, you'll see everything's just jammed in there. And the first thing we pull out is some steri filters, or what people call steri filts. Pretty much what this is it's a filter you attach to a syringe so you could filter out a liquid so no solids get in there. They give you 2 of everything that you guys are gonna see. The next thing you guys are gonna see is some blunt needle tips. Now these are blunt needle tips, you're gonna get 2 of them, and we're gonna need that to inject it into one of the vials that have self-healing injection ports. The next thing in the box is a couple 1 milliliter syringes. Next, you guys will find your bag that contains all your chemicals that are gonna do the reaction to give you your results. So you guys are gonna have 2 of each because there's 2 separate kits in the box. Next, you guys will see your color chart. So this color chart right here is what you match everything up to be able to tell the numbers. So when the test is all done, we're gonna match it up to this color chart and we'll be able to tell our accuracy within a 0.2, I believe. The next thing inside the box is your directions and some gloves. So you're gonna have your instructions that walk you through pretty much what I'm gonna walk you through in this video. And you also get 2 sets of gloves. Now, once you guys make sure that everything is included in your kit, what you guys wanna do is take 1 of each thing and put it off to the side. We only need 1 kit. So you guys are gonna need 1 syringe, 1 steri filter, 1 needle, 1 vial with a self-healing injection port, 1 white vial with liquid in it, and a pair of gloves. You guys are also gonna need a couple things that don't come with the kit. The first thing is a scale. Now, you are gonna have to weigh out 150 milligrams of powdered material that you wanna test. Now, of course, you can use a gram scale if you want, but if you wanna be super, super accurate, I really suggest just buying a cheap milligram scale on Amazon or eBay. You can get it from $20 to $25, and it will come in handy a lot as you guys move forward with your mycology career. So just make the investment. Now, this is gonna give you the milligram to the exact number. If you guys use a gram scale, you guys are gonna have to use the points. So if you put it on a gram scale, you're gonna have 0.00. That's gonna be the gram setting. If you guys wanna weigh out 150 milligrams, it should read 0.15. If it says 0.15, then you guys are pretty much in the range of 150 milligrams. Now, it's not gonna be exact 150 milligrams. It might be a little bit more, a little bit less, but it's gonna be about as close as you guys could get it on a gram scale. So just keep that in mind. You could use a gram scale, but a milligram scale is definitely gonna be much more accurate. You guys are also gonna need your material that you're testing. Now, I haven't tested these on HPLC testing, but I am gonna test them to see how accurate this kit is. So once we get the results from the kit, we're gonna then go and we're gonna run it through the HPLC, and I'll give you guys the results at the end of the video. You guys are also gonna need some water and a beaker or a pot, a pan, a bowl. It really doesn't matter. You guys are gonna need some hot water, at least 1 liter, plus something to hold it in. So once you guys have all that together, we can move forward with actually starting the process of using one of the test kits. The first thing you guys want to do is you want to powder up your sample. Now, you can use a pastel and mortar, you guys could use a coffee grinder, or you could just use a hand grinder. It doesn't matter. Now, I will tell you guys, if you grind it up really, really fine, you're going to get much more accurate results. The test is just going to work better. So make sure you guys grind it up into a really fine powder. Now, once you guys have your material all ground up into a fine powder, now you guys want to weigh out 150 milligrams. Once you guys have 150 milligrams weighed out, just put it on some type of card or something like that, a business card, a piece of paper, and just fold it over. You guys want to fold it over because we're going to have to dump it into one of these vials, and that little fold over, that little concave is going to help the mushroom material go into the vial. Now that we have our material weighed out, now what you guys want to do is you want to take 1 liter of water, put it on the stove, and bring it to a boil. Once it starts boiling, shut off the stove and just let it sit. Now what you guys want to do is you want to take your 150 milligrams of test material and you guys want to add it to the white vial with the lid. Once you guys have the material inside the vial, what you guys want to do is you want to shake it up for 10 seconds and then let it sit for 10 minutes. Make sure you guys are using a timer to have exact times because this is really going to play into your results. If you guys do it under or over, you guys might get inaccurate results. Once you've shaken it up for 10 seconds and let it rest for 10 minutes, repeat that process 2 more times. So you want to shake it up again, let it rest for 10 minutes, then shake it up again for 10 seconds and let it rest for 10 minutes. All in all, it should rest for a half an hour and you should have shaken it up 3 separate times. Now, once you guys do your final shake and it's rested for 10 minutes, now what you guys want to do is you want to take your Sterifilt out and you want to take a syringe out. And you want to attach the two together. Now you're going to attach them together just by applying force. They don't screw onto each other. They just attach by using force. They're a perfect fit. Once you guys have your Sterifilt on your syringe, now you guys want to remove the cap to your vial and you guys want to stick your filter in there and you want to start to suck up liquid. You guys are going to want to suck up 1 milliliter of liquid. Now, it might take a little bit of time to do this because of the negative pressure in the filter. So just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you guys suck up 1 milliliter of liquid. There should be no solids inside the syringe. Once you guys have your 1 milliliter of liquid inside your syringe, now what you want to do is just replace the cap to the vial and put it off to the side. Remove your Sterifilt and now you want to attach one of the blunt needles that were supplied in the kit. Same exact thing, it's not going to twist on, it's not a lure lock, it's literally just going to fit on there, it's a perfect fit. Once you guys have the syringe needle on the syringe, now what you guys want to do is you want to take the vial that has the self-healing injection port on it and you want to stick the needle through and you want to push the entire 1 milliliter of liquid that's inside the syringe into the vial. It might take a little bit of force to get it through the self-healing injection port because these are blunt tip needles and they did that so that you don't get poked or hurt with the needles. So just use a little bit of force to get it through the self-healing injection port. Once you guys have all the liquid inside the vial, now you could remove your syringe. What I like to do is I like to pull up my needle a little bit and fill the entire syringe up with air. So that way when I pull the needle out, there's no splashback or anything like that. You guys could do the same exact thing or you could just pull the needle out. It's really up to you, but this is the way I like to do it. Now that you guys have your mix together, you guys will notice a reaction. So you guys will notice the liquid turned green. The more green this liquid turns in the vial is an indication for psilocin. So this test doesn't separately test for psilocin, but the darker green that your liquid changes when you inject the 1 milliliter into the vial, the more psilocin present in your sample. So just keep that in mind. As you guys could see, this one turned a nice green, so you could tell that there's a good amount of psilocin in this sample. Now what you guys want to do is you want to get your water that you heated up, the 1 liter of water, and you guys want to make sure the temperature is between 80 and 95 degrees Celsius or around 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's going to be the sweet spot. So you want it about 200 degrees Fahrenheit or between 80 and 95 degrees Celsius. If you need to reheat it to get it a little bit warmer, go for it, but it should be the perfect temperature once you guys get to this point. Now that you have your water at the perfect temperature, what you want to do is you want to take your vial that now has your mix and everything in it, and you want to put it inside the water. We have to incubate it. Once you guys put it inside the water, start a timer for 15 minutes exactly. So it's very, very important that you guys start the timer as soon as you put it into the water to start incubation. You have to set a timer for 15 minutes because you're gonna get the most accurate reading at that 15-minute mark. So start a timer for 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, we'll come back and we'll proceed to the final step. All right, guys, so it's been 15 minutes, so we're gonna pull this out. So what I like to do is I like to use a pair of tongs. I'll pull it out of my water and I'll put it onto some paper towels and just dry it off really, really quick. Remember, this glass vial is gonna be hot, so you wanna use some tongs. You don't wanna burn your hands. If you guys don't have tongs, then just dump out the water while retaining the vial back. and then you could grab it easily and dry it off the same exact way. Now, once you guys have it all dried off, just put it off to the side, and what you want to do is you want to grab your color chart. Now, you want to take your color chart and you want to put a piece of white paper in the background. So your color chart should be on top of a piece of blank white paper. This is going to give you guys the most accurate color and the most accurate reading, because lights inside the room can affect the color, backgrounds can affect the color. So putting a white piece of paper behind the color card and your sample is going to give you guys the most accurate color for your sample. Once you guys have your color card on some white paper, now you want to take your sample and you want to match it up to the closest color on the color card, and this is going to give you your potency. As you guys can see, this one's pretty high up on the spectrum. This is going to be between 1.8 and 2.1% of active alkaloids. Now, let me show you guys why this isn't that accurate. All right, bear with me. Yes, the test is great. It's a good indication, but let me tell you why this will never ever replace HPLC testing. This is all subjective, right? You're not going to get an exact color match. So you're going to be going up and down on this scale, and you know, jumping from one level to the next is a huge increase. So it's not as accurate as HPLC testing. Another downside of this is the closer you have the sample to the color chart, the darker it gets. It affects the color of the actual sample. Different angles, different light will also affect the color of the sample. It will make it get darker or lighter, as you guys can see. So really, at the end of the day, it acts more as, is there a presence of active alkaloids? But it's not very, very accurate when you're doing it color-based. It's very, very difficult to get an exact number or as close to exact as possible, even following their directions to a T. Like I said, look, you guys can move it up, down, left, right, and the color changes depending on where the light's hitting it, how close it is to the color card, how far away from the paper it is. So it's not super duper accurate. But like I said, just using my eyes and, you know, moving it all around and trying to get the best calibration of color, I'm going to say this is between 1.8 and 2.1. But I'm going to jump on the HPLC real quick. We're going to test it and we're going to see how accurate this actually is. So after testing it on the HPLC, I can actually tell you guys this was off a pretty good amount. So this tested at about 15 milligrams per gram, or about 1.5%. Could this color have matched to the 1.5 on the color chart? Sure, it could have matched, but we really don't know, because as we get closer or further away, left or right, the color changes. So we have no idea. It's really perspective. And this is only going to give you a really, really vague, rough idea. This will never, ever replace HPLC testing. Now, do I think it's cool for the price and stuff like that? Yeah, absolutely. I think this is good to have in the lab, just so you guys could test different samples. And then, you know, the darker the color, you could say, you know what, these are the samples I want to send in for HPLC testing, because HPLC testing is not cheap. So you don't want to send bunk in for HPLC testing. It's just not worth the money. So you guys could get a good indication with this kit for really, really cheap, if the sample's even worth sending in for HPLC testing. But like I said, this will never replace HPLC testing. It's cool. It's kind of a novelty, really, at the end of the day. But really, to be honest with you guys, HPLC testing is king. Now, like I told you guys, to test a sample through HPLC testing, it's pretty expensive and there's not many places doing it. So the market's kind of cornered by 5 or 6 different labs, and their prices are all very, very similar. So you're gonna pay around $200 to $250 to get one sample tested. Now, some places are even more expensive, but that's about the average. Now, if you guys want to become one of my Patreon supporters, we have a tier on there, the TTF Magic tier. If you guys become a member on the TTF Magic tier, you guys could get a sample tested every single month for $150. Now, it's not just that. You also get access to 2 different chat rooms. You guys get access to the private library. You guys get one-on-one private calls with me to help you out and stuff like that. But you also get free entry into the Cultivar Cup. So if you guys want to compete with some of the best cultivators from around the world in this community, you guys get free entry to send a sample in to compete in the Cultivar Cup. And you guys get testing every single month included in your membership. So it's a really cool thing. It's the cheapest testing on the market, to be 100% honest with you. Now, there's a bunch of great labs out there, like I said, but this is really, really cheap. If there's other options out there too that are amazing, like Oakland Hyphae, and they do the psilocybin cup, and they have a membership program through their Patreon and stuff like that. So make sure you guys go check them out. They're a great group of people, really good friends of mine. But like I said, if you guys want to test through me and Doma Labs, Magic Michael Labs, then you guys could actually join the Patreon, the TTF Magic tier, get a sample tested every month, plus a free entry into the Cultivar Cup where you could win a ton of prizes. But more than anything else is to hit one of those top numbers to be a winner or second place, third place. It really opens up a bunch of doors for you guys, and it's an accomplishment. You know, it's a good thing. So if you guys want to be a part of that, go check it out. All the links are in a pinned comment below. So if you guys want to be a part of that, I really appreciate it. It helps the content keep coming, and you guys get to get a lot of stuff in return. So all in all, would I buy this kit or suggest this kit to you guys? Yes and no. Like I said, it's a great thing just to have in the lab. You could test out a bunch of samples for really, really cheap and figure out what are the best samples to send off for real testing. It's really up to you guys if you guys want to try them out. But like I said, for the price, you really can't complain, and it's a good tool to gauge the idea of where it's at. With that said, I want to thank you guys for all your love and support. I honestly couldn't do this without you guys supporting me right here on YouTube, and you guys supporting me over on Patreon. You guys are my world, and I love you guys to death. And the Trip Team family is the most amazing community in the entire mushroom psychedelic community, and you guys just fucking rock, and I love you. I'm Willy Michael. Do good, be good, live good. Namaste.